Flag, and I'm one of your hosts for the evening. First off, we need to thank our host location, the City of Newport News. Thank you, City of Newport News. And then as well as the cities of Hampton, Poquoson, and Greater Williamsburg, which consists of the City of Williamsburg, James City County, and York County. Let's just review a couple of house rules to get started. First, please refrain from using the group chat feature to make comments to everyone, especially while someone is pitching their business, because it's distracting to the pitcher and the rest of the audience. If you want to use the chat feature to connect specifically with someone, with a specific person, please go direct on the chat with that person. And please don't do it while they're pitching. That will also be a distraction. Do it after they pitch. And then thank you in advance for honoring that request. And Tim's already gone over with all of the pitchers, but I'll just do it real quick so that it's available to everybody who is just signing on to the webinar. We're really excited to get started tonight. We have 10 pitchers tonight, and the top 3 will advance to the final event, which will be held on November 3rd. So in tonight's, the way that the order works is that each pitcher will have 3 minutes to pitch their business, and Tim will be the timer on that. So when you start talking, he'll start the timer, and then at the end, he'll say time. And then that'll be followed by Q&A with the judges. So after the pitcher will pitch, and then we'll set the clock for 2 minutes. Before we set the timer actually working, we'll go through each of the judges. I'll go through that process. You as a pitcher may want to have a notepad or something to take some notes. Each judge will ask you 1 or 2 short questions. You write those down. And then when you start answering the questions, then Tim will start the timer at 2 minutes, and you'll have 2 minutes, and then he'll just tell you you're out of time at the end of that. And then just remember to have something ready to take notes so we keep on moving. And don't start to answer any of the questions the judges ask until all 3 have asked you all the questions. Tim?
Awesome. Speaking of the judges, we will go ahead and introduce ours. Tonight we have our first judge is Oz from Techstars. Hopefully you were able to tune in to the Techstars State of the Entrepreneurial Community that took place yesterday. A lot of great information was passed. So Oz, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. I'm really excited for these companies. They all look really exciting. I checked out the descriptions.
Awesome. And next on the list, we have Jeff Johnston. He is a returning judge. He judged last year's micro pitch event and final event. He is from the Virginia tech community, and he is the man behind Tech Center in Newport News. Welcome back, Jeff. And finally, another returning judge who was a judge from the last micro pitch competition. We have Marty Kazabowski, who is the executive director of ODU's Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Marty has been a judge all over the world, and it's great to have you with us tonight, Marty. Welcome.
Good to be here. Thanks.
All right. So the way that we're going to do everything tonight is we will have the first 5 pitchers go, then we'll take a short 10-minute break, and then we'll return for the last 5 pitchers. The whole idea, we understand we've all been on Zoom for the last 14 months. Zoom fatigue is there, so we're going to keep things moving as quickly as we can, try to keep everyone's attention and not drag this out longer than we need to. So we'll keep it fun, we'll keep it exciting, and keep on pressing forward. Once all the pitchers pitch tonight, the judges will then enter their virtual deliberation room. They will hash it out, fight whatever they need to do to determine the 3 people to advance. And those 3, as Gary said, those 3 businesses will move on, pitch November 3rd for the final event, where the top 3 take home $5,000 in prizes, along with many other prizes that we'll talk about during the deliberation process. All right, pitchers, we know that you're nervous. We've sent this in emails. We've talked about it before we went live when we were backstage. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to charge $5 anytime we have to tell someone to unmute yourself. No, seriously though, when it is your turn, unmute yourself, share your screen if you have slides. Once your pitch is done, stop sharing your screen. Then the judges will go ahead and ask their questions. After the last question is asked, you'll then address those questions just like Gary said. When you're complete, remute your mic, and then we'll just rinse and repeat 10 times over. So, Gary, let's get started.
So are you ready? Everybody ready? It's an exciting time, drum roll, and we're ready for our first pitcher. So Chris, are you ready?
I am ready, Gary. Let's do this.
All right, please welcome Chris from Valid Workflow.
I'm going to share my screen with you guys. You should be seeing that now.
I will start with a timer when you start, Chris.
All right, I'm ready on 3, 2. I'm a surfer. I love catching these kind of waves. When you're surfing, you have to be really nimble and fluid. Otherwise, a great wave like this might turn into a really bad wipeout. Companies are very similar because they have to remain responsive to what their customers want. And the more successful a company becomes, the more rigid it becomes too. And that's bad news because it means a lack of innovation. It means a loss of customers. And it means it opens the door to increased competition. Now, companies that get this right say things like, in today's era of rapid change, there is no other way but to reinvent, that the only sustainable advantage that you have is agility, and that is it. And so what is the solution? I mean, really, it's about flexibility, and that requires a new way of thinking. It requires a new way of doing, and really a new way of organizing work. Now, we have a solution already in place in the world of programming, and it's called Agile. Agile is a workflow methodology and a series of tools that works really well. The challenge, though, is that 93% of programming teams already use Agile, but only a small percentage of other departments are using Agile today. Now, that's a gap that just has to be closed. Even the Harvard Business Review has recognized this transformation is key to success. But no one is focused on helping this group, and that's where we come in. So we've created Valid. It's Agile for everybody else. It's a software as a service platform that provides the training, it provides all the necessary tools, and it opens up some great new opportunities for organizations to do things like machine learning. Now, the idea here is, really we've created this platform. It is in private beta. It's ready to go. My name is Chris Dallavilla, and I have over 20 years of experience as a developer and in business. And for the last 5 years, I've been focused exclusively on helping organizations become Agile. And I'm the author of the video learning series on Agile and LinkedIn Learning. I have over 250,000 users there. And I get emails every day from users who say they love what they learned, they wish they could learn more, and they wish they had something like Valid that could bring it all together. And it's a big market, 740 business users, because anyone can use this platform. But our initial beachhead is the entertainment market, film and TV studios, for example. So this is a market that has some unique challenges where Agile is a great fit. And better yet, we recently ran a market research study across a number of different verticals and found that this is where the most interest is. This is a 9-figure opportunity. We're well positioned to capture it. We're ahead of the curve. And I'm looking for others to get involved as mentors and advisors to help ride this wave.
That is time.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chris. All right, judges, you ready for some questions for Chris?
Yep.
We'll start with Oz. You go first.
So my quick question is, what's your revenue model? How do you plan to make lots of millions and millions of dollars off of this?
Jeff?
Oh, I forgot. I was waiting for the answer, as I forgot how this went.
Questions
Yeah.
first.
Talk to me about customer discovery. I heard you mention market research. I would like to know how many customers you talked to about this opportunity.
Okay, and then Marty.
Yeah, hi Chris, how you doing? So I see a lot of these things, and the question I always have is, what are you replacing? What behavior gets changed? What do you get rid of when they start to use your system instead of what they're doing currently?
Okay, so
All right,
Chris,
that sounds good.
whenever you start, Tim will put 2 minutes on the clock.
Okay, 2 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Okay, so Oz asked about revenue model. I mean, this is a SaaS play, right? I mean, this is really about, eventually I want the whole world using this thing. I mean, I get really excited when I coach customers and I see them transform and I see them increase their performance, their growth, their results, right? I'm one guy and I've been doing this one-to-one with customers. I want to do this at scale with a SaaS model. And so we haven't figured out the pricing model yet. That's definitely something on the horizon for us to start to figure out. But we're in private beta. We've got 8 customers now. We're starting to get feedback to really learn, what the value of this is, what this is competing with, this sort of thing right now. The next question was from Jeff, and it was about customer discovery. Yeah, so we spent first quarter, January, February, and March doing a research study, conducting a research study. We talked to 15,000 customers over a range of different verticals. I've worked with technology companies. I've worked with big healthcare companies. I've worked with entertainment. I've really worked with all these different verticals. So the questions become like, who's most interested in this? What can be our bottom of the market to really start to make an inroads here? And we talked to 15,000 different customers through that research study and identified that by far the entertainment market, with some of their current pressures and how they're evolving, they have a lot to gain from Agile and from a platform like this. And then Marty had asked, what's this replacing? It's really interesting. I think what it's replacing are, some old school approaches to how work gets done. The old, waterfall model and spreadsheets and having, something that's very top down. And this is helping customers think about things in a very sort of bottom up approach. I think one of the things I didn't get a chance to mention just because of time is the fact that, there are a lot of tools in the technical tool belt that don't fit this type of use case, right? So yeah, we're replacing
this time either, Chris. That's
all right.
It. Okay, thanks, Chris.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, judges, have you filled out your grading sheets, your whatever? Make sure you have a chance to do that. And then we'll move ahead when I got thumbs up from all 3 of you. Got one from Marty. Oz is good.
Wait a minute. What just happened?
While Jeff's figuring that out, Taylor, are you ready?
Hello.
Don't
Yes,
start
I
yet.
am.
But
I know. I'm going to share my screen on another device real quickly.
Okay. Are you good, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you judges want to be sure you mute your thing, then it'll stay pinned on Taylor while he's speaking. If you make a noise, then it'll move over to grab you as the main feature. So just put your thing on mute. Okay, Taylor, you're ready.
Yes, sir.
All right, please welcome Taylor from Spellcross.
Hello, I'm Taylor Robertson, and I'm a sophomore at the College of William & Mary, and I'm here to talk to you today about my mobile app idea, Spellcross. The massive Harry Potter fandom, which has purchased more than 500 million books and supported the 3rd highest grossing movie series, have abandoned J.K. Rowling. And in the past year and a half, there have been a massive decline in sales as people refuse to support her because of comments that she made. So these previous fans, still want to be witches and wizards, just not her witches and wizards. They don't want to purchase her movies and books, and they don't want to play her games. With the explosive success of Pokemon Go a few years ago, and less so Wizards Unite, which allowed for augmented reality gaming in which the catching of mythical creatures could be done in real life with the superimposition of creatures over the real world. I believe there is now a space in the market for an app that allows for virtual reality dueling between different people, allowing us to interact with each other, duel with each other. You'll notice on Zoom that Zoom can tell what is your virtual background and what is you. And if you pull up your phone camera, it can easily detect faces. The technology is here now for spells to be able to be sent across the screen to your opponent and allow for those virtual effects to be visually imposed upon your opponent. Seeing here is a mock-up of what this would look like. Tracing with your finger on the screen, a specific shape that correlates to a specific type of spell as you stand 15 feet away from your opponent, also holding up their phone. Your back-facing cameras are enabled, allowing you and your phone to see your opponent and the environment. This way, the phone can see what is the environment, what is the person, and apply the spell that you're sending across. The specific motion you trace could correlate to a fire spell, ice spell, wind spell, or summon birds to swirl around your opponent's head, which makes for a fun-filled game for the two opponents. You can even dodge or cast counter spells, and it's very much a back and forth, fast-paced action dueling game. The model for revenue would be a freemium model in which people could purchase new spells, pets, items, or other in-game benefits, and also could see an expansion into merchandise with Bluetooth-enabled wands for another way to cast for dedicated witches and wizards. I know myself would really enjoy a game that merges the dueling aspect of many games online over the past 2 decades of virtual gaming and this new technology of augmented reality that's been in the scene for the past few years. And the combination of the two, we're finally ready to see. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Taylor. Please unshare your screen. And then we'll start in with our judges. And so judges, we're going to start with Jeff this time. You get the first question. And then Taylor, be sure you just write these down and then answer them when they're finished giving them to you.
Yeah, Taylor, thank you for that. That was fantastic. I just need to know more about this opportunity, this gaming opportunity. I didn't really pick up how big of an opportunity this would be. So I'd love for you to reiterate that for me.
Okay. Marty?
Yeah, I'll second Jeff's question. I just want to know if this is a big deal or a little deal. More importantly, what's the revenue model? How do you make money on this? How do you charge customers to do this stuff?
And finally, Oz?
Well, I'm going to give away myself as the millennial on the judging panel because I can see this very clearly. And I know that like building these kinds of games are, it's getting easier and easier these days with like, different ways to build an AR game and an AR platform and stuff. But what makes you, or if you have a team, your team, like the best team to build this game out? I see the opportunity. I have a teenager also who games all the time, so I get it.
Okay, so Taylor, when you're ready, and Tim will just put 2 minutes on the clock and you can fire away.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here, guys, and I'm happy to answer your questions. So in terms of more about this opportunity and the size of the market, J.K. Rowling has sold more books than any author, but I guess, God with the Bible. So 400 million books. You're looking at a very, very big franchise, one of the longest running entertainment franchises. And you're not trying to purposely capitalize solely on this group of individuals. I'm not trying to intellectually use any intellectual property. I'm just trying to imitate that feel of fantasy and of high fantasy with spells and knowledge. Those individual shapes that you have to actually know. And hopefully the first 50 spells or so you learn, there's going to be actual tracking on the screen to help players get an easy start into the game. But then it more so relies on your personal knowledge. Pokemon Go currently, which is another large franchise, makes about $1 billion in revenue each year over the past 4 years of it being an app in existence. And I believe Harry Potter and the high fantasy fandom has just as much potential for profit, if not more, and a similar freemium-based revenue model, which is what takes me into the next question. I did address the revenue model a little bit of this thing called freemium. So that's basically where an app is free to play. This is a mobile app, but then there are in-game benefits. So things like spells that you can't regularly access, you can purchase for 49 cents, 99 cents. Things like a hovering pet next to you that shows up on the screen to your opponent, things that add for flavor. But I also see the real benefit to this app and to the real potential for profit beyond just, Pokemon Go's in-app purchases of $1 billion that they see is in-person merchandise. So a wand that you can physically trace out the shapes as well. So a hard product that you're selling then to these fans of the game. So that way they're actually getting to do this in real life. You also see like robes and other objects that they can have as in-game benefits tied to them. What makes me unique? My creativity and my age.
That's done.
Okay, right on
Well
the
said,
money.
young fella. Well said.
Thank you, Taylor. Okay,
Thank you.
next up is Scarlett. Scarlett, are you ready? Scarlett is on mute.
Here it comes. I'm sharing my screen. Hold on.
Perfect. And then judges, go ahead, Jeff and Oz, if you would mute yourselves and anybody else so that Scarlett is the star of the show.
And can you see my screen?
We can.
Okay, good.
Good.
Hold on just a minute. I need to move something and then we're good to go. Sorry, I had it all ready. And I even practiced. Okay, here it is. Start from this first. Okay.
Please welcome Scarlett with Village Studio Arts.
Hello. Hi. Have you ever wanted to take an art class in Hampton Roads? Or if you've wanted to put your kids in an art class, you might have noticed there's only 3 types in Hampton Roads and most other cities. Those 3 types of art classes are the cookie cutter art class, like Kid Create Studio or Starving Artist or AR Workshop. Then you've got your wine and paint art classes, and then you've got your fine arts programs at local museums and universities. So what's the problem with that? You got limited creativity at the cookie cutter places. The wine and paint is no creativity and it's adults only. And then the fine arts programs are usually pretty expensive and they cater to retirees and students during the day. And you usually have to sign up for 10 sessions or more. So that's when I come in. My name is Camille Donnie. I'm a wife, a mom, a teacher, and an artist, and I've got 25 years in the education field. I'm the former director at the Peninsula Fine Arts Center, and I created camps that were used all over Virginia. That model was used all over Virginia for art camps. And my last year working there, I made $80,000 in gross sales. And everything was great until I found out that the museum was closing. And at that point, I created Art Teacher to Go, which was a mobile art business. And it was great. It is great. But I'm book solid and I can only deal with one family at a time. I can teach one person at a time and that's it. So I decided to go to a brick and mortar, and that I decided to call Village Studio Arts. So this is what it looks like. My time at the museum taught me that people like workshops. So I'd like to do a workshop model where you begin, you can go from beginning to end in about 1 to 3 sessions, and you walk with a quality product. And the classes would be I'd have children's classes, adult classes, and teen classes. And I'd also like to offer an open studio. And in the open studio, people can come in that already know what they're doing and they just pay to use the equipment. Here we go. This is my plan. So this summer, I've actually already I've leased the building and I'm already starting this plan. So this summer, I'm having 9 weeks of art themed camps for ages 5 through 10 and 11 through 16, starting with what I did best at the museum. In the fall, I'm adding more classes like homeschool, preschool, after school, and adult pottery classes. In the winter, I'll be adding seasonal classes and parents' nights out, winter camps. And then in the spring, I'll add even more classes. After the first year, I'd like to rent the space next door so that I can have 2 classrooms and run 2 sets of camps at one time. And then after that, I'd like to branch out even more and create a nonprofit. So is it time?
That's time, Scarlett. Thanks.
Okay, here we go. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay, so now we're gonna have to unshare your screen.
Give me just a second to come back.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Unshare. Sorry, I'm coming.
Yep. And then this time for judges, we're going to start with Marty. So Scarlett, be sure that you have something to take some notes.
Stop share. Okay, here we go. I'm ready.
You got something to take some notes? And Marty's going to start. Go ahead, Marty.
Thank you. So I love the idea. The question though is, what does this look like in a while? Does this scale? Let's imagine you're wildly successful. Does this become a franchise, a license, something where all of a sudden these things are everywhere on the planet doing great things?
Okay, and next is Oz.
That was my exact question. Have you given any thought to how this expands beyond maybe the footprint of brick and mortar? Like, Marty's question is exactly mine.
Yes. So I have to tell you this.
Don't answer yet.
Oh, is it just those two questions? The same question?
No, Jeff has a question for
Oh,
you.
okay.
And then you can answer.
Yeah, mine, they both stole mine. So this just screams scale. So,
Okay.
but I'm going to talk about something else, and that's profitability. Like making money off of these, you know. So they're talking about how you can grow, but how do you make money off of this?
Okay. I'm ready. So how to make money.
Yeah, so Tim's going to give you 2 minutes, and then he'll let you know when you're finished and when your time is up, and then you'll be finished.
Okay.
Go ahead, whenever you want to start.
Well, first, I'd like to tell you that I just opened registration yesterday, and I've already made $5,000 gross. So I'm doing great. Anyway, the way that I'd like to scale it is through this. So as I add teachers, I can add classrooms and grow that way. But I'd like to franchise my camps. Several places around here have already hired ex-teachers of mine and asked them to try to recreate my camps, which they can't do. No one does it quite like me. So I'd like to franchise my camps so that different organizations could purchase them. And then I'd also like to franchise the I don't know if franchise is the right word, the art kits that I create so that families can purchase a kit and create it with me virtually, or by themselves. And oh, sorry, I thought I ran out of time last time, so I was trying to go fast. So I'm hoping to have a second location in Yorktown in the next 5 years, but I'd like to, I guess, I don't think franchise, copyright my camps and sell those and then franchise that. And thank you so much for giving me time to talk. Sorry, I just wanted to be quick.
So here's a sneaky thing. Are we out of time, Tim, or?
We will be here in
Okay.
not so long.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. All right, so we'll move on to the next person.
Okay, thank you.
I guess. Okay. All right, so judges mute up again. Our next presenter, our next pitcher is Dennis. Dennis, you ready?
I think so. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Go ahead
Can
and
you
share
hear
your screen, and then I'll give you the big intro.
Okay.
All right, everybody, please welcome. You good, Dennis?
Can you see my screen?
We can.
Okay, great. Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
All right, please welcome Dennis with Easy Verify.
My life was forever changed when I saw a news report that an elderly couple was robbed and killed after trying to buy a dream car from a Craigslist ad. I thought criminals freely operate online because there's no convenient verification process for individuals to use. Unknown amounts of abuses and scams go unreported. We need a trusted and affordable tool that can help verify a stranger. Our targets are the millions of consumers that leverage online platforms to buy, sell, and engage with others. People who desire to socially or professionally meet up with a stranger for any reason will benefit from our services. Good evening. I'm Dennis Woodbury, founder of Easy Verify LLC. Easy Verify is a local startup for you to know who you're meeting every time. With Easy Verify, you can instantly verify who you're dealing with and reduce the risks you may encounter when using shopping, dating, and classified sites. With our website and apps, we use the two-factor authentication methods that businesses and financial institutions use. A code is sent to your mobile device to initiate the verification process. Through our API, users can instantly leverage over 6 billion device IDs and existing consumer records via the global resources of the TransUnion Company. Our apps are in beta and available for download on the Apple and Google Play stores. Today, we aspire to be a Start Peninsula finalist and welcome your networking support to help grow our services. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Dennis.
You're welcome.
Go ahead and unshare your screen for us. We'll start on our judges. Be sure you have something to take some notes as they ask you some questions.
Let me
And
see how to unshare. Stop share.
so judges don't start yet. Oh, there we go. Okay, and so we'll start with Oz this time.
Okay.
All right. So I have a few questions. I know I'm only able to ask a couple. So one would be, it says in the description that we were given beforehand that you charge $249 for this. Is that $249 one time? Then you can use this service like as many times as you need to. So I guess a little bit more clarity around the revenue model. And since I get a second question, the second question would be, what would be the challenge for you? It sounds like you've got, the beta on the Play Store and different app stores. What's your challenge to sort of getting out of beta and launching, like just launching the product?
Okay, you good, Dennis? For that
Yes, I'm good.
One? Okay, Jeff, you're next.
Yeah, what do I learn when I use your software? What am I verifying? What are those metrics? What am I getting? That's one.
Okay, and Marty?
Sorry, I'm like Oz. I've got like 10,000 questions on this one. I'd love to spend more time. The short version is, why doesn't Craigslist and others do this already? I mean, Craigslist has already been sued and had to eliminate a whole bunch of stuff on their site. Why haven't they already done this?
Okay, Dennis, you can handle those questions and Tim will just start the clock and you get 2 minutes. So it's all yours.
Thank you. Oz, to respond to your questions, the $249 is a per inquiry, depending on how you purchase it. If we have 3 different options, we have a per inquiry, which is a $249, but then there's also like a bundled inquiry where you can buy 5 of them, which makes your cost drop down to like $1 or something. And then you could buy a bunch, which is like 50 of them, which makes it cost less than $1 per inquiry. So we've kind of provided an option with that. Launching wise, we just want to get some feedback as much as we can so that we iron out all the bugs and everything. We're ready to launch right now, but I do want to have some idea as to what our community and what our customers are saying about our services. Jeff, what you're getting basically is a sense of security when you invest in or when you use our services. TransUnion Company purchased a company that had this background data on all of these devices. So every mobile phone is connected to an individual. And with your phone number or your email address, we run you through that database, and we get to know that you are who you say you are based on what you've provided us in the way of qualifying information. So it's not like a full background check. We couldn't afford to do that or whatever, but we do give you some parameters and some security of knowing that the person that you're talking to or that you're about to meet with is who they say they are. The last thing is, why haven't the big boys done it? Why haven't Craigslist done it, Marty? I mean, maybe they were just waiting for Easy Verify to come along. I don't know. But the idea is that, most of the businesses, if you look across the board, the business to business market. Am I finished?
You are done.
Oh my
You are
goodness. I'm
cooked.
sorry, Marty. Oh, man.
You are cooked, but thanks for answering those for everybody.
Okay.
And Oz, and they'll all have a million more questions for you, I'm sure.
Okay.
So, okay, cool. We're ready for the next picture, and then we'll take a break, a 10-minute break after this next picture. So Jeremy, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, you want to share your screen? And whenever you're ready, judges, you all ready? Everybody's ready to go? Okay, everybody else who's not speaking, please mute. And Jeremy, whenever you're ready, just take off. Please welcome Jeremy from stormystorm.co.
Maya Angelou once said that there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. And unfortunately for our target customers, there is no greater truth. Hello, my name is Jeremy, and my co-founder Colby and I are on a mission to empower millions of people around the globe to build and share custom visual narratives. We started StoryStorm because we found Miss Angelou's word to be true in far too many of our target users. We've heard from hundreds of them across the United States, and what they tell us essentially is that they have stories to share, but no practical way of doing so. They also tell us that they believe narratives have a unique power to teach, reach, and move people on a deep emotional level, yet they cannot wield that power because of limitations in their current creative workflows. So currently our target customers are integrating talent and tools from a number of different places across the web into their creative workflow to be able to tell a story. This process is often costly, very time consuming, and painful. Our team will take all the resources that these customers are currently scavenging for and integrate them into one easy to use website. We'll eliminate the hassle of scavenging for those resources and make the story building process actually enjoyable. This summer, we're going to launch a web app that will allow our users to quickly and easily build visual stories. We're starting with things like webtoons and comics. However, we believe that we can become the first option for building and sharing a story in any form. We are absolutely the team that will bring StoryStorm to life. Kobe has a wealth of technical knowledge and years of software development experience, and I'm a serial SaaS founder with over a decade of experience in leadership positions. Through our customer discovery, we've already identified 6 different customer profiles from which StoryStorm could serve. These customers come from a number of different backgrounds and industries, however, they are connected by their need to build and share custom visual stories. With StoryStorm, we have the opportunity to reimagine the creative workflow for storytellers all across the globe. To do that, we need to build a strong community of partners and contributors. We'd like for you to be a part of that community. Please visit storystorm.co to learn how. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jeremy. Be ready to take some notes for judges' questions. You ready to go? Okay, this time we're going to start with Jeff.
Yes, thank you. Great job. You know, I'm interested. You talked about some customer discovery work that you did. I'm interested in the value proposition as you've articulated that. What's the value proposition? And as a result of that, what's the revenue models associated with this?
Okay, next, Marty.
Yeah, shockingly and uncharacteristically, I've gone 7 pitches without asking about intellectual property and barriers of entry. So tell me a little bit about why this is difficult to duplicate. Do you have patents, trade secrets, other sorts of barriers to entry that others couldn't get over?
And then Oz.
So you wrapped your pitch by saying that, the growth of your platform depends on the, getting a lot of contributors to this platform. What is your user acquisition or customer acquisition, like some high level thoughts about that?
Okay, Jeremy, floor is yours. And then Tim will give you 2 minutes on the clock and he'll let you know when you're done.
All right, awesome. I'm ready to go ahead and start. Thank you, judges, for your questions. So our customer discovery has identified that a number of our customers are already using things like Canva, a subscription-based model. They're familiar with that. We plan on launching with a subscription-based model in the summer. A modest price for similar technology. So you asked about patent and trade secrets. So we are pursuing a patent. We're building the software so that the base fundamentals of the software will be patentable. We are building it through GitHub, so a portion of it is open source, but our software, we are pursuing a patent for the base framework of the software. Also, we are building up an image library, and those images will be specific to us. So no one will be able to duplicate our image library and allow users to come in and use the image library to build stories. So that's specific to us, and that can't be duplicated. Those files are being built that way. So that's a specific advantage that we do have. In my personal research and my co-founder's research, we've not been able to identify any platform that has a large library that actively lets users build and publish stories. We're trying to kind of reinvent the creative workflow for a lot of users. And the tools that we compared ourselves to are tools that our users are going out and grabbing and bringing in to use at one point. So we're all-in-one comprehensive solution. We also have that as an advantage, a thing we're working toward. So our customer discovery, I've already done about 34 customer interviews. I have over 150 surveys. We did those early this year. I've been cultivating a social media following with those users. And so as we launch our product, we're actually doing a YouTube series as well. I plan on investing back into those users, going back and making contact and growing organically through those users. That is our user acquisition strategy for this summer.
Okay, and that's time for you, Jeremy. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Let's see.
On the
We're
break.
in a break. So I have 6:43. How about we come back at 6:53 and on the dot, and we'll be ready to hear from Daniel with AIVL. You'll be ready? All right, so we'll see you all in 10 minutes.
Dennis, just want to say that was a really good pitch.
Was that Tim or Thomas? Who said that?
Thomas, yeah.
Thomas, hey, Thomas,
That was
thank
really
you.
good.
All right, my man, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
It's been a long time coming. Are you pitching tonight?
Yes, I'm not this one coming up, but the one after that. So the 7th one.
All right, well, I wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Dennis pitched last year at Hampton University.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Glad to see you're back. I always admire people that just keep going. I think that's so important. We try to tell everybody that. And, it's good to see perfect examples like yourself.
Well, thank you very much. And it's good to have people like you to keep us motivated and keep us pushed in the right direction, So how you been doing? You been doing fine?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
I'm glad, again, I'm really glad to see you're out there.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I remember you from day one. So thank you very much.
For the record, Dan's been doing this longer than I have. Can you imagine?
Yeah. He doesn't look like it. I don't know. I mean, he's getting younger or something. Yeah. Life is good though.
When we started the Hampton Roads Technology Incubator in October of 1998, Dan Gerard was one of the guys who was involved and active. And
actually, I got the money for you.
I know, yeah, I know. We got NASA money, we got CIT money, we got Hampton, City of Hampton money, and Dan was the man. Yeah.
What color was Dan's hair in '98?
Hey, listen, both Dan and I are just glad we still have hair. I'm just saying.
Was that a microaggression, Marty?
It was, as a matter of fact. It
Okay,
was.
I registered it, so I'm calling you out on it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 6:53. We all ready to roll? Our next pitcher is Daniel. Daniel, you ready? You want to go ahead and judges? Are we all back?
Let's see. I'm
Rose is
looking for
running
ads.
away. Oh, she's back. Okay, Jeff's back. Marty's back. Everybody who's not going to be speaking here coming up, please mute.
Looks like
And Daniel, you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Oh, I'm good. I don't need to share my screen.
Oh, you don't need to? Okay, cool. All right, whenever you're ready to roll, please welcome Daniel with AIVL.
Imagine that you're eating a hot dog, enjoying yourself at a ball game, when suddenly you begin choking and stop breathing. 911 is called and paramedics quickly arrive to perform an intubation. Intubation is a medical procedure where doctors sedate patients and then insert a tube to provide oxygen. More than 50 million intubations occur globally, and this data does not include intubations during emergency medicine or during the COVID-19 pandemic. Patients must trust their doctors to intubate them properly in a do or die situation. And our product, the AI Video Laryngoscope, or AIVL, can alleviate those worries. This product and many more is what our company, Zen Alien Tech LLC, can do to revolutionize the medical field. According to the market analysis report by Grandview Research, the US medical device manufacturers' market size was valued at $177 billion in 2020. And currently, there is a local medical device distributor with $1 million worth of antiquated laryngoscopes just sitting in storage, waiting for a tech upgrade that our Zen Alien team can solve. The first laryngoscope was created a century ago and only slightly improved 25 years ago with the invention of the video laryngoscope. While other video laryngoscopes exist on the market, paramedics complain that devices are either poorly designed or unaffordable. Our video laryngoscope has a unique trait that will advance the market: AI. Everyone knows how self-driving cars are changing the automobile industry with the ability to detect objects and even park themselves. Our AI video laryngoscope will guide doctors to find the trachea, increasing confidence and the success rate to a consistent 90%. We have teamed up with Eastern Virginia Medical School and Hampton Fire and Rescue to gain the sufficient data to improve and train our AI model, as well as garner feedback for our laryngoscope's design. Once ready, we will sell our technology to hospitals and medical manufacturers, allowing them to improve their customer base and to reach multiple users from paramedics, doctors, and medical school students. Our cloud subscription service will record and save all operations to improve training for medical professionals. Our AI VL is only the beginning of what Zen Alien Tech LLC can do. Our clients will benefit from our AI technology to include ultrasounds and orthodontics to MRIs and X-rays. Zen Alien Tech LLC will revolutionize the medical field. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Daniel. Judges, you ready to ask questions? So Daniel, got something? Take some notes.
Sure.
1 second, okay. All right, and so when you start, we're gonna hear from the judges. So first, Marty.
Yeah, well, a lot to unpack here, and yeah, I wish I had more time to ask questions. I guess I'll focus on the obvious one. Intellectual property. What do you have that's patentable, patented? Where are you on that? What's protectable so other folks don't do a similar thing?
Okay, Oz.
Yeah, I want to know more about your team. Who do you have helping you out to build, to sell, to get into hospitals, those kinds of things?
And then Jeff.
FDA approval required. Is the problem finding where to intubate, or is it preventing intubation? I wasn't really sure about that, so help me out.
Okay, Daniel, you have 2 minutes. When you start answering the questions, then Tim will start the clock.
Awesome. Thank you for all the questions, by the way. So for FDA approval, so this is a video laryngoscope, and it is a class A device, which is class 1, sorry, a class 1 device, which says that to get it approved, you have to have the laryngoscope or the medical device be similar to something else on the market. And we're not we're changing the feature set of the video laryngoscope, but if it acts the same as other laryngoscopes, which it does, then it will just be checked through the FDA. We don't need to do any human testing, and it'll get approved. Who am I? I'm a senior at College of William and Mary. I'm doing the Engineering, Physics, and Applied Design program. This is my capstone project. I've been working for around a year now on this project. I'm working with my professor and a local team of students. After this is our research project, and after the research this school year is over, then my professor and I will be working on this and trying to commercialize it. IP protection, what's patentable? Well, we have to keep our code a trade secret because it's we can't patent code. So that's where the AI. But what else? We can patent the design of the blade because we have the user base. Since we're talking to Eastern Virginia Medical School. And their users, we're talking to them, and we're trying to get the best design that fits exactly for all their situations. So we have that reach. So I think, did I hit all the questions? What's protectable? Like design of the blade, handle, the electronics and such. Okay.
And that's time. Thanks, Daniel. And judges, go ahead and take your notes, whatever you need to do to update your sheets, and we'll be ready to move on to the next picture. So the next picture is Thomas. Thomas, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, if you want to, we'll wait for, don't share your screen yet. We'll wait for a thumbs up from all the judges if they're ready to roll.
Just like Daniel, no screen to share.
Oh, okay, cool. And all right, so judges, you ready? Okay, if you're not talking, please mute. If you're not Thomas, please mute. And so please welcome Thomas with Arena Group.
On April 7th, 2021, the Virginia legislature officially confirmed the legalization of cannabis in the Commonwealth. And while this is great news for Virginia cannabis consumers, what does it mean for Virginia businesses? Well, according to JLARC, the regulatory body commissioned to study the impacts of Virginia cannabis legalization, the Commonwealth could see retail sales as high as $200 million in year 1 and as much as $1.2 billion in annual sales by year 5. To understand what this might mean for the Virginia economy, we can extrapolate using leading cannabis business resources, MJ Biz Daily. MJ Biz uses an industry multiplier of 3.5 to measure broader economic impact. By this standard, the economic opportunity for Virginia could be as much as $700 million by 2024 and upwards of $3 billion by 2029. As with all entrepreneurial ventures, opportunity is born from obstacles. In this case, there is no bigger obstacle to entering this market than one thing: federal prohibition. The biggest, most successful companies in the country will not work with cannabis companies until cannabis is removed from the federal list of controlled substances. This is the opportunity for small and mid-sized professional service firms with an appetite for risk to come in and dominate a market in desperate need for support. This is where Arena Group comes in. At Arena Group, our goal is to support plant-touching cannabis companies throughout Virginia. We will do so by ensuring that plant-touching companies, called license holders, secure the appropriate professional services for their needs. These professional services will range from compliance and legal services to financial services such as banking, accounting, payment processing, to administrative services such as security, staffing, and payroll. At Arena Group, we will focus on 2 core competencies: compliance services and strategic partnerships with outside professional service firms. We believe that compliance is the most strategic starting point because it touches all aspects of a license holder's business. If we keep compliance front and center, we will insulate ourselves from competition and be better positioned to recognize when additional professional service support is needed and what vendors will provide that appropriate match. To accomplish our second core competency, Arena Group has already begun to develop working relationships with a number of professional service firms, including Virginia law and consulting firms, Virginia trade associations, including the Virginia Cannabis Industry Association, Cannabis VA, as well as traditional trade associations, including the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce and others. Finally, we have entered into partnership agreements with leading enterprise software providers, MJ Freeway, Veridian, and Trellis. Our revenue model comprises of 2 parts. For our compliance services, we estimate monthly charges of $5,000 per month per client, or equity consideration of less than 5% of the cannabis license. For our referral services, we will make a commission of 2 to 5% of the cost of services made by our professional service providers. Hello, my name is Thomas Malone, and I am the founder and CEO of Arena Group and a graduate of UVA Law School. I am currently a solo entrepreneur. So far, I've made do with an outstanding team of advisors, but what I need most is a team. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks, Thomas. Judges, ready to have some, and Thomas, ready for some questions from the judges?
Ready when you are.
I'm ready to take down, and we're going to start with Oz this time.
All right. So I mean, I fully believe in a consulting business, consulting business's ability to scale without technology. Have you considered a tech layer though for, scaling beyond, I guess, what the human capacity in your company can do?
Okay, and Jeff?
Yeah, I'm kind of going to build on what Oz said. She used technology. I just wrote down the word moat. When you're a consulting group, what prevents the competitive nature? What keeps you unique, and how will you defend this group and your business model from others? And
then Marty.
Yeah, I think we all have a similar concern. You mentioned the economic multipliers. I just got to tell you, as an investor, I don't care. I don't care what else happens in the economy. I want to know how I make money. But the question really is, obviously we've done this in other states. So what models have you found in other states that are similar to yours that can give me as an investor confidence that this thing is actually going to work and make money?
Okay, Thomas, you have 2 minutes. When you start answering the questions, then Tim will put 2 minutes on the clock and we'll let you know when your 2 minutes is up.
Okay, great. So to ask this question on scalability, the idea behind our starting point with compliance and moving into professional services from there is based in a management model So what we hope to do over time, starting with compliance services, is to eventually provide the full suite of business tools and basically be the one-stop shop for a license holder to use for the suite of business services. From that point, moving on to Jeff's question, we hope to scale that professional management in a way that will preclude others from getting involved. So what that means is by having already the compliance relationship with companies and being able to expand that to a range of other professional services, we will be in the best position to run the gamut of services for cannabis companies. And as we continue to do that, as we continue to prove our success in doing that, we'll be able to do that with more and more license holders. Eventually, we will be at a point where we will be the professional management firm of choice for cannabis license holders across the state. And pending federal legalization, we hope to replicate the SOPs, basically replicate that model in other markets. Finally, to Marty's question, talking about I am blanking on Marty's question. That's the one question I didn't write down, and now I'm paying the price for it. Now I'm blanking on it.
What have you learned from other states?
Thank you. So what I've learned from other states is that this is acquirable. TrueLeave is the best example of a company that has only done this with a handful of licenses in one state, particularly, and that's Florida. And their valuation has exploded since they've proven that the management of the firm can be replicated.
And that's time. So thanks, Thomas.
Thank you.
Judges, let you update your sheets, give you a few minutes or a couple seconds for that. And then we're going to be ready for our next pitcher, which is Greg. Greg, are you ready?
Yes, I am. I'm going to try to share my screen at some point during my presentation.
Okay. So as soon as the judges give me a thumbs up, then I will let you go ahead. So Jeff's ready. Oz is ready. Marty, you ready? Okay. Please welcome Greg from Let's Go Webcasting.
Yes. Good evening. COVID. It's hit us all pretty hard the last year plus. And one of the things that it has impacted is people getting together, not only in the classroom, but at sporting events, at family gatherings, more recently, weddings. I came up with the idea because I am a broadcast engineer by profession, to come up with a solution for people to bring folks together. I did a wedding that had relatives scattered around the country, and it was at a local hotel, but they limited attendance. And a lot of the family members around the country, were not able to come in because of the limited attendance requirements. So I have the technologies that I own to provide the ability to webcast the event to YouTube, whereby people can view the event as if they were there. Now, some people will, drag up their iPhone and, do their best with what they've got, and that's fine if that works for you. But I can provide multiple cameras, wireless camera, wireless microphones, professional graphics, anything that you might need for a more polished presentation. To give you a couple photographic examples, here is an interview that is being done using the same technology that I have. Here is a classroom setting where a presentation is being webcast because of limited attendance. And finally, perhaps you're a business person and you have a product you want to demonstrate and get out to the general public, but can't do so because of COVID regulations. Let's see, where am I now? I think where do I go back to stop the screen? There we go. So I do have a solution for people that are limited. Everything from birthday parties to, heck, I did a volleyball game last night. It was one camera, but it was a requirement for the parents that were not permitted to attend the game. They're happy, I'm happy, and the problem has been solved. So with that, let's go webcasting.
And that's time, Greg. Thanks so much.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. So grab something to take some notes, and I'm sure that the judges have some great questions for you. So we'll start with Jeff this time.
Hey, Greg, welcome back. I think I've seen you before.
I had the pleasure of being here once.
Okay, good. I remember you. So my question is on positioning versus substitute products. For this,
say that again, Jeff, I didn't hear that.
Positioning versus substitutes. I've seen this capability with other things, and I want to really understand what makes yours unique.
Okay, and next, Oz.
Pricing, how much are you charging for this? And are there different pricing levels? Just more about the revenue model.
Okay, and then Marty.
Yeah, so, with all luck, COVID won't last forever. There will be a new normal. What do you think this thing looks like in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years when we're sort of back to normal, or maybe not? What does it look like?
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready to go, we'll start, and you have 2 minutes. Tim will let you know when 2 minutes is up.
Okay, thank you. Marty, longevity. Nobody really knows what the future holds. I'm hoping that it would end soon. I'm not basing my whole life's income on it, but right now, I think it is a service that can help a lot of people out. As far as my uniqueness, I'm being able to put my 40 plus years of broadcast experience together and provide a highly polished, highly technical product for anybody that would want to look other than home movies. And as far as pricing goes, I base it on the needs of the customer. It can be as simple as one camera on a tripod streaming to the internet, or up to 4 cameras, or if you have a business presentation, it can be 3 cameras and a laptop feeding screens, all depending upon the needs of the client. There's really no other way to do that. And I'm very flexible, but I also need to be competitive with audiovisual companies. I mean, one of my main targets that I would like to partner with are area hotels who provide meetings, banquets, and so forth, to give them another arrow in their quiver to market their facilities, saying, oh, we can also stream live to the internet. And I would be able to work with them on providing that service. Okay, I'm ahead of time, which is good.
Okay, thanks so much. And judges, you can update your sheets, and when you let me know when you're ready, thumbs up. Good. Okay, our next pitcher is going to be Maya. Maya, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, when you want to share your screen,
Yeah.
we'll give you the big announcement of you, and Tim will put 3 minutes on the clock. So you ready?
I am ready.
Please welcome Maya from Unwedded.
Weddings are beautiful and expensive, with the average price tag of $34,000. And 20% of couples spend over $1 million on their nuptials. But behind the romance and the hefty price tag is enormous overproduction and waste that plagues wedding businesses and our environment. And here's what happens when a bride doesn't say yes to the dress. Picture huge burn piles of expensive and exquisite laces and silks going up in flames. This is the current solution for the 300,000 brands to handle their excess inventory problem. They're literally burning potential income and contributing to the $460 billion lost each year by the throwing away and burning of underused clothing. And for retailers, the solution is costly. In February, I visited Mel, a bridal shop owner in Connecticut. She had so much excess inventory, she had to open a second store that was twice the size and overhead as her little boutique. She did not go into business to manage 2 stores, but she felt like that was the only solution to manage her mounting inventory. Her quandary is the same quandary for the 10,000 retailers across our country. My name is Maya Holohan. I am a 19-year wedding industry veteran, and I am the founder and CEO of eWedded, which is a business-to-consumer multi-vendor marketplace for wedding businesses and brands to move their excess inventory more swiftly and sustainably. I was Mel. I know firsthand the pain points that exist when it comes to inventory management, and it's the biggest advantage we have to bring to the market. We've created a flexible marketplace for the 87% of wedding businesses that do not have an e-commerce function to move their excess inventory responsibly and efficiently. And our augmented reality tool helps our end user say "I do" to their purchases faster. Based on our research, businesses that leverage the power of eWedded can increase their revenues by up to 10%. For the average retailer, that's about $125,000 a year. And for brands, it could be double that. And our end user benefits because they can save on their wedding by saving up to 80% off of these excess goods. Like Etsy or eBay, our seller creates an easy to manage storefront, or we can be their end-to-end solution. In that scenario, we take possession of the goods and we procure them and get them ready for sale on the marketplace. We do everything from inspection to shipping. And with our eCoterie subscription program, we're providing essential business tools to our sellers and industry professionals so that they can enjoy success both on and off our platform. Initially, we'll make money from transactions and subscription fees. It's 15% per transaction or 60% if we house the goods. We have a highly skilled and diverse team that brings over 75 years of industry experience. And with your help and money, we can continue to bring sustainability to the wedding industry. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Maya. And we're ready for our judges to ask you some questions. You ready to take some notes?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with Marty.
Yeah, again, this is a lot to unpack. I'd love to learn more about this one. I guess my core question is, why doesn't eBay just do this? I mean, this seems like something that an eBay or one of these two-sided markets could do tomorrow. So what is it about you that would be different than what eBay could do today?
Okay, let's go to Jeff.
Yes, I'm.
Yeah, Maya, Maya, there's so much here. This is a hot space, by the way. So for me, it is, do you have any traction already? Any sales at all associated with what you're doing already? This is interesting.
Okay, and Oz?
So unfortunately today or anytime soon, the only money I'd be able to give you is my $35,000 as a fiance. But the only question I really have, because you explained everything pretty clearly to me, is similar to what Marty's asking, but like a ThredUp or Poshmark, why wouldn't a bride like me, if I'm looking for, something in an affordable price range, go to one of these versus eWedded?
Right. Great questions. Thank you. So
you have 2 minutes and then Tim will cut you off.
Great. Thank you. So I think, one of the things that makes us different is that we are solving the problem for the business, unlike an Etsy or an eBay or a Poshmark that's very consumer to consumer focused. And that benefits the end user because we're very particular about how we're curating our product. We vet every seller. We're going for a very specific audience, which makes it easier for us to authenticate the goods that are on the platform and ensure that the end user is getting a product that they can believe in. I'm the best because I know everybody in the industry, plain and simple. It's a big industry that produces billions of dollars of goods, but everybody knows each other. We have spent the first 3 months of our, since we launched our MVP in January, curating sellers to bring products to the platform. So Jeff, to answer your question, we're onboarding just under 80 sellers right now, which equates to almost $3 million in sellable merchandise. We also have our first exclusive deal with Erin Cole Bridal, and we're fostering deals with Chicago Bridal Market and a bridal expo that focuses on consumer shows. And then we do want to be the thread up for the wedding industry. That is our goal. So we're going to roll this out in phases. So initially we're going after retailers and small independent sellers. And then we're going to go after brands. And then we're going to go after decor and design companies, right? Because we're going to have products, I like to say, from Will You Marry Me to Home Sweet Home, like everything that you need for a wedding. The thread up piece is capital intensive. So that requires warehousing and staffing. And just, right now we don't have to worry about housing inventory. But I've spoken to thousands of retailers and brands, and there's two issues: money and space. And so at some point we're gonna have to bring the goods in and help them. And I think that's it.
And that's time. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
So we're gonna let the judges finish up their sheets. And then I believe we're going to excuse the judges to go into a different Zoom room. They have another call. They believe you all have your link to that. And so they're going to go do that and talk about what they thought of all the pitches and pick the top three. And they'll come back and the gray smoke will come out and we will know they have a decision. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn things over to Tim, and he's going to talk a bit more about things.
Thank you very much, Gary. We'll kick the judges out, and then they should all be leaving. And then we're going to put the judges to the test.
We have a pope. We're working on getting a pope. We might have a pope.
There goes Jeff.
Dan, I think you're supposed to go as well. Dan Gerard.
Yeah, I don't see the link though.
It was a direct message to you. It should have been.
Oh.
All right, everybody. I have just launched a poll. It's always fun to do. See how everything measures up against the judges. So you can choose your three companies that you thought were in your top three. We'll let that run for a little bit. And just want to take a quick second. I'm going to throw something in the chat for everybody. A lot of people, one of the biggest questions that folks have is how can they get more involved within the startup community? As I mentioned at the beginning, we're introducing the judges. Oz is from Tech Center. One of the things Tech Stars. One of the things that she's doing is that she has, they created a Slack channel. I just put that in the chat so you can click on that and you can join Slack. And that's just a way, there's different things. They talk about events. If you have needs that you're looking for, it's just a better way to communicate internally with the entrepreneurial community. So I encourage you to do that. And the next way that you can get more connected with the entrepreneurial community is through Startwheel. That's an organization that I also work with. And that's just a way, if we have a consolidated events calendar. So if you want to know what events you should attend to, you can go there. You can find everything out. If you want to know the latest news of everything that's happening across the entrepreneurial community, we do that there as well. But the other thing is it's an avenue or a way for you to share your success stories. So if you have a new product launch, if you have a grand opening, whatever the case might be, share that with Start Wheel so that we can share it with our listeners. One of the things that was identified yesterday during the the state of the entrepreneurial community was the entrepreneurs want a better way to tell the story. And I agree, we need a better way. And that's one of the things the Start Wheel has been trying to accomplish, is to better tell and share the story of all the great things that are happening across our region. So I encourage you to share what you have going on there. I want to make sure that everybody understands, for those people that are pitching, for those people that might be on the fence, if they want to pitch, everybody that's part of the Start Peninsula core team. So our host city of Newport News, city of Hampton, James City County, York County, city of Williamsburg, city of Poquoson. We all work really, really hard to make sure that we can provide the tools that that you all need to be successful. So we have a lot of great prizes that come along with participating in Start Peninsula. For those that attended Pitch Perfect, it's not always about winning the $5,000. I mean, the truth is that you're going to need a whole lot more than $5,000 to have a successful business. So some of the things that are offered, Greater Williamsburg Business Alliance membership, Peninsula Chamber membership, York County Chamber membership, Retail Alliance 1-year membership. For the technology, the heavy technology, or even the technology companies that we have, you'll be invited to the ICAP program, and that's something that uses the lean startup method. I mean, that is your way to really hit the ground running. So we'll provide that introduction. A couple of things that the judges had mentioned during the Q&A portion today was talking about protection, patentability, what measures can be put in place. So big shout out to patent portfolio builders. For everybody that participates, if you have those questions, Mike Loving is the guy to contact. I'm more than happy to provide that introduction to you. But they stepped up to the plate and they said, hey, we'll talk to everybody that participates in the micro pitches to help them with their IP and their patent questions and needs. So big shout out to them. Another perk, we have a great relationship with William and Mary. So there's a organization within the business school called Crimdell. That's a partnership with the Small Business Development Center, Crimdell, and Start Peninsula. So if you advance, the people that advance to the top 12 that participate in November, you get 20 hours of help from 2 business school students. And I oversee that from the student side. And these people are, I mean, they're scary smart. They are just chomping at the bit to get started, help out however they can. So you can leverage them. They can help you with preparation for November. Perhaps you want to wait a little bit and you want to use that help after November to help you with launch, with your launch. Some of the things that we've worked on in the past is, revenue models, price projections, some of the questions that the judges talked about today. How do you make money? So they'll go out and they can do the research to do a competitor analysis, those types of things. They do such a great job. So that's another perk as far as participating. The micro pitch number 1, we sold out, which was awesome. Micro pitch number 2, which is tonight, sold out again. Awesome. So with that, pitch applications are open up for micro pitch number 3, and that's going to take place in September, on September 15th. Same deal. So for folks that, if you don't make it through this time, I really encourage you to take another swing at the bat, come back, participate, and participate in September. I mean, this is just the beginning of the journey for everybody. So keep on going. If people are in the audience, they're getting excited, they want to learn more about this and everything that's involved, some of the upcoming things that we have taking place. May 12th, we have an information session that we'll do. I'll go over what the program entails, what you need to know, some of the key dates. So that's going to take place on May 12th. Then in June, we're going to have an alumni night. This is our 9th year doing Start Peninsula. It's been really, really great to see all the success stories. So we're going to try to get as many people together as we can over the course of the last 9 years. I mean, we've raised, not we, but the participants of Start Peninsula, they've raised millions of dollars in funding. We've had one of the winners go to Shark Tank and got a deal with Mark Cuban and Lori Grenier. Drew was our keynote speaker last year at the final event, talking about that experience. But Busky cider, if you see that in the store, if you see that on tap at some of the local bars and restaurants, Busky, I mean, that Will didn't know anything about hard cider at the time. He just had an idea. He pitched it. He was one of our winners, and now they're the second largest cidery in the state of Virginia. So we have so many different success stories. We're super proud of everything that everyone is doing. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of some of the success stories that we have. July 23rd, we're going to have an event where those people that are participating in Start this year, they can meet the sponsors. So we will set up an event where we can have different rooms available that you can talk to find out about what are the certain things that can be that you can take advantage of. Another thing, another prize package that I left off was the Launchpad, the business incubator in Greater Williamsburg that's operated by William & Mary. They offered free space to take advantage of to the 3 winners. So many different things. That's a rundown of everything that we have. I mean, it just we put a lot of time into it, and this is all for you. So do take advantage of it. Keep on going. This is a super long journey. That really hits everything that that I wanted to talk about. If anyone has any questions while the judges are in their deliberation process, feel free to either throw it in the Q&A or unmute yourself and let me know.
Hey, Tim, thank you so much. I have a question.
Yeah.
What was the name of that patent office you spoke of?
Yeah, that's Patent Portfolio Builders. Mike Loving is the person. Let me, I can grab his email real quick and I can throw that in the chat for everybody. But I mean, it's Mike at PBB Law. Copy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I just put that in the chat for everyone. But Mike is the man to contact, and he can set everything up. And I mean, what we do is we really want to. We enforce the give before you get mentality. Make sure that, hey, these guys, they're not in it to try to get something from someone that doesn't know anything or that may not understand the startup community. So they're vetted. They know the deal, and it's awesome that they want to get back.
Yep, thank you for that. And thanks for the opportunity.
Yep. Looks like everybody is anything else that anyone has? And
this is the uncomfortable part where everybody just stares at each other.
No, I'm not uncomfortable at all, but
well, maybe we're uncomfortable having to stare at you.
I'm looking at the at the poll results.
Oh, there you go.
Man, I mean, again, this is one of those deals where it's a pretty dead heat.
I like the fact that someone who didn't even pitch got 2 votes. That's pretty cool.
I call foul.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Fake news. That's right.
And then
Judges are coming back.
What's that?
The gray smoke is rising. Marty's back.
Come to beat Jeff. All we care about is we beat Jeff back because he's so sort of technology.
You totally anticipated that. That is fantastic. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, before we get into that, and before Oz comes back, one of the things that we're going to do, we'll send out a survey. It's really quick. It's not going to take people but a couple seconds to do. So pitchers, you'll get a survey. Let us. We really want to hear what your feedback is so that we can continue to improve this. And then participants, you'll get a survey as well. We asked if you could please fill that out because again, we really want to make sure that we keep on putting our best foot forward.
Good group, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Is Oz back?
He's back.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I can't really say much anything now because I don't even know who the winners are. So
well, I do.
I'm just going to sit back and listen.
I know. Are you ready? Virtual drum roll. The 3 top pitchers tonight are E-Wedded, Bellcross, and Easy Verify. Congratulations, everybody. I'm going to bet it was a tough decision for the judges, as those such things usually are.
Yes. It was difficult. I do this kind of stuff all the time, and this really was a good group. So I commend the Start Peninsula folks for having gathered such a good group and good pitches all around.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that. I commend all of you who pitched because you all did a fantastic job. It's not easy to stand here and talk about your baby, you know, things that you have worked so hard for and share it with us. We appreciate you doing that. And for those of you who are not in the top 10, keep going and keep pushing them because we as judges, you know, talked about each one of your technologies as best we could. But there's a lot more there. Don't stop. This doesn't stop anything. Thanks again for sharing your gifts.
And I'm available. We're all available on LinkedIn. You know, look me up. It's not hard to Google Marty Kazabowski and find me, right? So
we can't spell it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's right there. How tough could it be? Took my mother-in-law 10 years to figure it out, but you guys are smarter than her. So anyway, if you need some information or want to chat a little bit, contact me and I'm happy to help.
Any other comments from the judges? For those that were interested on that, when you all were deliberating, we did a poll, and the results of our poll, number one, there was only one discrepancy between the top 3. So our top 3 in no particular order was AIVL, Easy Verify, and E-Wedded. So pretty close.
Yeah.
But it was everything was really, really very close across the whole board.
And Tim, I just want to say, you know, you've done this Start Peninsula for a while, and if you could just tell people what's the importance of keep coming back and engaging with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we did talk a little bit about that when you guys were deliberating, but again, I can't stress enough to continue. It's a long journey. I mean, this is a marathon, and you just got to keep on going. And so. The other thing that I didn't mention was if you think you need to brush up on the pitch, you know, we have Pitch Perfect as well. That's going to take place in August. Everything can be found on startpeninsula.com. So we're there with the resources, teach you how to pitch, brush up the skills that you need. We'll make the introductions. We have the mentors. So take reach out to the judges if you want to get some feedback, and they can provide what it is that you need, but keep on going after it. I mean, this is just the first time at bat, or the second time. So keep on pushing.
Can I say something, Tim?
Yeah.
I did the last Pitch Perfect. I feel like I've been pitching for 5 years, and that was your Pitch Perfect, was so helpful and helped me get super crystal clear on what I wanted to say in my pitch. So for anyone that hasn't done it, you should absolutely do it. And I'll probably just do it again just because
Awesome.
you always keep learning. So thank you.
Thank you. And Oz, I did push the Slack channel. So I put that in the chat for everybody. Do you want to take a second to talk about Techstars, what you're doing? We have with a group of people.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll just share really briefly. I am a local founder. I was actually right in y'all's seats 5 or 6 years ago. I was a former Start Peninsula winner for my software company, and it was off to the races for that. So fast forwarding to now, I'm now working with Techstars and more ecosystem development, which means, creating programming and creating connections and creating things like the Slack so that we can have more density in the startup community around here so that, we can have really great interactions with each other, helping one another grow our businesses, shorter connections to really valuable information and people, which saves you time and helps you build your business faster. I would like to meet as many founders as I possibly can. I mean, my goal is to meet everyone. My first goal was 100 founders in 100 days. Almost hit that mark, very close, but I'm serious. If you're in the ecosystem, I want to have a conversation with you. I'm going to drop in my Calendly. My public calendar is here. Feel free to grab some time on that calendar. Any time that's open is a time that you can book with me. And we can talk about growing the business, some Techstars tools I can share with you, and also just navigating this 757 ecosystem.
Awesome. Well, that wraps everything up on my side. Gary, do you have anything that you want to add, or if anyone has any other questions that they want to ask? The main portion of this event, we are included 18 minutes early, so that was awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing, and that is, and Tim and I have done these for a long time. It's a few years, and at least for me, working with Tim. And I tell you, it's always inspiring to see you all come and do this, do your thing. Those of you that reach out for help and ask for the opportunity to work on specific things. It's fulfilling for both me and Tim to help you and help you be successful and help you to grow and as we both have our own businesses and we understand the struggle and how painful it is and sometimes it's spooky, and I always talk about that all of us are Martians that the Earth people don't really understand, and so we have to have this community of Martians to be able to feel like we're okay. So I appreciate everybody really coming and doing this and putting yourself on the line, because that's pretty spooky. And so thank you for doing it. I enjoyed all of them tonight. Thanks so much for being brave and coming and sharing your ideas. And I know all of us learn every time you all come and do this. So.
Yeah, one other ad. You guys, I think I'm going to underscore connect on LinkedIn. I think I just got a LinkedIn request. I think, Jeremy, that might have been you. But send a LinkedIn, everybody. Let's make sure we're connected, because you don't know who we know. And we don't know who you know. And even if, through this, you've just built your network. Through this, your efforts tonight, and your network could be significantly larger. So send a LinkedIn request. Let's hook up, let's connect there. All right?
Agreed.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, Tim's on mute now. How cool is that?
$5. Here I am. I blew it the last 30 seconds.
See you, everybody.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Have a great evening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Judges, thank you so much. Sponsors, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Till next time.
Thank you to our leaders, Tim and Gary.
Yeah.
Gavin, you rock.
Gavin, yeah.
Gavin, you rock. See ya.
Can I ask one question while we're still here?
Yeah,
When could we expect further info from you all?
as soon as tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. You all have a great night. It was lovely to be here, and I really appreciate your time.